So you guys know, probably a while back, maybe about a week or two ago, I was talking about Brad Wardell, and I was talking about another developer as well who was talking about photorealism and the PS5 and things like that. I'm not sure why the PS5 gets brought up in photorealism talk, but you know, that's the thing that people want to talk about. So this particular Game & Bolt article, they interviewed Brad Wardell, and as you guys know, he's a developer and CEO of Stardock that usually just does PC stuff, but he's very knowledgeable in stuff like DirectX 12 and things like that. So you can't really discredit everything that he says. I think some of the stuff, like when he was talking about a potential problem between Xbox One versions of games and Scorpio versions of games with compatibility, I think that was a little bit wrong, simply for the fact that I've seen developer documents and things like that, and it really explains in depth about how you're supposed to be able to develop the games and how they're going to run good on both, thanks to like UWP and stuff like that. But anyway, just getting back into this new thing. Anyway, he was talking about photorealism, and he says that he thinks we can achieve it with the current cycle. And what's funny is when I did that video about the PS5 quote-unquote achieving photorealism, I had a developer inbox me and go, hey crap, you know, photorealism can be done right now, just developers are lazy and a lot of them don't want to take the time to do this. So I think that, you know, that's probably accurate, and the Xbox Scorpio clearly should be able to, because although they talk about the PS4 Pro, which is, they says, is a reasonable powerful console, they haven't been able to hit photorealism. And he says, well, I think we can achieve photorealism with the current cycle. Actually, we can go full realism. I mean, can we get past Uncanny Valley? Probably not. But when I think of photo, I think still images, and we can definitely do that. For one frame, it's usually the animation or how the light interacts with certain materials that makes you go, this isn't quite right. The problem, according to Wardell, is no longer the hardware we have in hand, it's the software we're using to utilize the hardware. You know, a lot of it comes down to the engines too, he said. The hardware guys probably shake their fists at the software because everyone is using these engines nowadays, that these off-the-shelf engines that were written back in the early 2000s, and sure, they're iterated, but they're still based on the assumption that one CPU core is talking to one GPU core. For example, they're not doing their lighting techniques are very much a video game style lighting technique, and not just what you would see in a movie or CGI, but they could, the hardware can, it's just that the software doesn't allow them to do that. So basically what he's saying is these old engines that we're using, probably like the Call of Duty engines and, you know, with that Quake engine or whatever, and a lot of these old engines are really holding back what can be done because they're only allowing for only like one core to be accessed and things like that. And even though I'm not a big tech guy, I can totally understand where that's coming from and things like that. So it sounds like we're just waiting for the engines to catch up with the hardware at this point. Hopefully, with some of these newer engines that are coming out and things like that, we'll get there. And hopefully the Xbox Scorpio will be on the forefront. It sounds like he's pretty confident that we can get photorealism this generation, and from Scorpio, no doubt. You know, obviously, if they're talking about PS4 Pro, then clearly the Xbox Scorpio will be able to do that, no freaking problems whatsoever. And that's something we can all get excited about. I know I'm excited about Xbox Scorpio and what this means. And it's always interesting to hear different takes from these developers and things like that. Even if I agree or don't agree, it's still good to kind of get in there. I'm learning a little bit with each article every day about how these things are. Interesting, definitely interesting. And I have to say that I'm looking forward to the day when we have these like photorealistic graphics. I can remember back when Call of Duty 4 released, and on the back of the box on the Xbox 360 box, it's like photorealistic, and I just remember thinking that it was like this amazing looking game at the time, and now here it is, you know, 10 years later, and it's not anymore. So it's really hard saying that there's anything photorealistic. I think it'd be cool if we get there, and I'm all for tech kind of moving forward and things like that. So very excited about this. I will link the article in the description. You guys can check it out, give it a read, let me know what you think, comment below, and hit me up on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, or you can hit me up on Xbox Live. I got over 5,000 followers there. MOH Space Crapgamer, like Medal of Honor Space Crapgamer. As always, thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.